Hey, good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend to you. I'm just going to let you listen while we'll wait for a couple of people to wake up. If you need to wake up, wake up. Good morning to you. Maybe you're sleeping in. Maybe you're catching this on the replay, but just listen for a moment. If you're not awake, the birds are awake. It's time to get up. Listen, just see if they're going to talk to us this morning. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good morning to you. Mark Avens here with another episode of the Daily Dose. This is episode number 27. I'm going to keep my voice a little quiet because it's a weekend and I'm in my backyard and my neighbors, I get all riled up. I might have been better off if I were to do this in the Jeep right now because I'm really excited about the weekend. I'm excited for you. You survived another week, so good morning, welcome. Hey, Carl, welcome to you. I have a great message this morning. It's probably one of my favorite messages to share with you. And gosh, I was writing. I almost wrote I have a whole bunch of notes. I wrote almost sometimes I'll write 2 pages of notes, things that I just start getting inspired by. And I started thinking about gratitude and I get inspired. I had mentioned this. Why am I doing the daily post? Let me just kind of give you that. If you haven't been on here, if this is the first one, if episode 27 is your very first episode, you can go back and watch them. You can just go into you can go into look at videos and scroll down now. Mind you, I have a lot of videos, but just search for the episodes and you can go back to early ones, 27, 26. And, this week, actually, just in a nutshell, we went through a lot of different topics in the daily dose. And what is the daily dose? So, I started this 27 days ago to provide an extra dose of encouragement with the times we're at and the life that is kind of been thrown at us. I say circumstances, if you will, with things being shut down and, people being scared for the health for good reason, right? With a virus and a pandemic and whatever you want to call it is, there's a bit of fear that's there. And I know what we can do is wake up and have doses of things, doses of news, doses of fear, doses of anxiety, doses of worry, doses of stress. But you can also have doses of encouragement. And I wanted to provide an extra dose of encouragement. Maybe you need that. Maybe your week really, really sucked this week. Maybe it was you had hair on your head, even though I have it. Maybe you're losing hair because you got to deal with your kids every single day and you got a house full of kids and everybody's in your face and you can't go out and you can't maybe do your normal weekend things, right? Maybe your weekend is to go out and about and do some fun things and you're not able to do that right now. Hopefully that will change and the new normal will come for all of us. But until then, let me just give you, and even after that, this is an indefinite daily dose of encouragement for you. So we're going to talk about gratitude because the big thing I've learned is the more you choose it, the more you choose gratitude, the more you're able to focus on things that you can be grateful for, things that have been in your life that can be grateful for. It gets easier. So the more you choose it, the easier it becomes. Does that make sense? So in light of the weekend, right? In the weekend, and maybe the weekend get excited for, and that's okay. Even if you're the type that lives for the weekend, it's okay. But also to have some gratitude. Hey, good morning, Sherman. Good morning, Leanne. I appreciate you. And welcome. Thank you so much for being here and spending some time with me. I want to really just share a good word of encouragement for you today and really just talk about gratitude. So I'm really grateful for those that listened for this week, the week in review. I'm going to do real quick. And you know what? I think those birds are grateful. They're singing, they're chirping. I don't know what they're saying to each other, but I know I'm grateful for those birds. That it's really refreshing to hear life, to hear birds chirping. And I'm not even like a bird expert, but my backyard, if you can see, is a bit of a sanctuary back here. It's pretty beautiful. And living in Florida, we have all kinds of birds. There's everything here. My backyard, we have woodpeckers, giant pileated woodpeckers. They're huge. Little woodpeckers, we've got cardinals, finches, all kinds of stuff. Even sometimes hummingbirds come around here. It's really, really pretty. Not to mention we get the squirrels and all the other stuff. But back to just a quick week in review. Before I want to really share you some gratitude is the week in review. We talked about this week, living for today. We talked about what drives you. Monday was living for today. Tuesday was what drives you. 3 was about temptation. We talked about temptation. That was Wednesday. On Thursday, what it takes to be courageous. And then Friday, we talked about surviving or thriving. And if there's one thing that I can help and help you with, and hope that it helps, is that you don't just survive right now. Like survival, yes, it's important, but I want you to thrive as well. We talked about that yesterday. But now it's a little different. We're going to turn it a little different, because my message is just on gratitude. Is just having this attitude of gratitude, because it's been one of the things that's helped me, is in not so much in what I don't have or what I can't get or the things I can't do, or, you know, the places I can't go, right? We talked about, I actually asked, hey, if you could go anywhere in the world and travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go? And I had so many good responses. And it is like, we would love to be able to do things. And right now there's a lot of things we can't do. So instead of worrying or maybe thinking about, maybe you can even plan your vacation, or you want to go to Fiji, or you want to go to Costa Rica, or wherever you want to travel to. Maybe it's just to your neighbor's house and hang out with some friends and, you know, be socially close to them, right? Totally get that. But I would say is in this time, we can also kind of reflect on the things that we could be grateful for, right? That we have another day. And I want to share with you, and I want to ask if you want to. Yes, thank you. It looks beautiful. It is. It's a beautiful backyard. It took a lot of work. It used to not look like this, I can just tell you. We've been here 18 years. We put a lot of sweat equity into it, and I'm very grateful for it. Now, I'm not grateful in the summertime when the mosquitoes attack, and even we try to rid the mosquitoes, and that didn't really work, so we're enjoying it now. Right now it's perfect. I can't imagine if summer mosquitoes killing us again. That's the least of the troubles. But what are you grateful for? I'd love, if you're catching this live, if you're catching this on the replay, I'd love to hear right now things that you're grateful for, because sometimes if you start to choose it, you start to own it, you start to write it down, kind of like I talk about with goals. When you're owning your goals and writing down your goals, it's that mindset, the affirmations. If you choose gratitude on a daily basis, not only does it get easier, it fills your mind being grateful. And that's one thing I think we can all, myself included, can all stand. There's so many things I'm grateful for. In fact, I want to share with some of those. So maybe you're struggling because you've been in this, like, things that are really sucking right now, right? I mean, for lack of better words, is things that suck right now. Maybe you're out of a job. Maybe you're working at home. Maybe your kids, you're being teacher and you're being parent and you're trying to cook and the house is a complete disaster. You got little ones, it's stressful. You and your spouse have never been around each other as much as you are right now, and it's hard, right? Like, relationships are struggling right now. But also the time is to just take a moment today, being Saturday, why not? Like, I'm very grateful for so many things, but it's easy for me to slip up and not think about them. So here's a couple things I'm grateful. One of my first and foremost is my faith and relationship with God. Like, He's helped me with so much clarity in my relationship, and walking closer towards Him is just open up this attitude of gratitude towards so much that He's blessed us with. Because all of the birds, the beautiful plants and backyards and families and friends and all the things that come in our lives, the blessings, at least for me in my life. And I think about, like, how blessed I am, how grateful I am to have not just a relationship with God, but as He's blessed me with so much good. My great parents have had, a great upbringing. My parents they're still alive, but they're amazing parents. And then to be able to start a family of my own, and God deliver me an amazing wife, 18 years married next month, it'll be 18 years. And it is work. It's a struggle and it's a challenge, but it is so amazing, and things that I have to be grateful for again. And then having a family and kids and mentors and coaches and colleagues and friends and all those things, right? Like, is that something to be grateful for? All those things in your life. Now, maybe you can't hang out with them, right? Maybe you can't go out on the town and have, a night out and do that sort of stuff. And maybe your family, although you want to be grateful for them, it's hard when they're like getting all up in your grill and your space and asking, Mom, like, our kids are a little older. They're like more kind of keep the doors closed and what do you want, Mom? What do you want, Dad? Like, that kind of stuff. But if you got little ones, I know if you got younger ones, Mom, Dad, Mom, hey, does that sound familiar if you're a little younger, right? Maybe you have some grandchildren, and maybe that's right now. Maybe you're struggling because you have 6 grandchildren and you can't see any of them right now, and that's really, like, upsetting to you, right? And I get it, but think about this. You got 6 grandchildren. That's something to be grateful for. You can FaceTime them, even though you maybe can't hug on them and stuff. You hear those birds? They're awesome, by the way. So that's one of the things I'm grateful for, truly just that relationship that I have with God and my faith. That's number one. It's the first and foremost thing over anything else. And then here's the other one. Next thing is not going through this alone. Like, I know there's a couple of different directions that people can choose and have chosen. Is this? I know there's going to be a lot of people that are struggling right now because they're choosing to go it alone, and this could be in this kind of time right now, this kind of time right now. Or he's saying hello to you, by the way. He's grateful right now that he has this beautiful backyard. We have a little water. We actually got a little bird feeder. I'll show you that soon. We had a couple of little babies in the nest earlier too. It was really cool. But I'll tell you, one of the things I'm grateful for is not going it alone. I can't imagine going through this right now alone. And I'm not talking just having family here. I'm just talking in general. In my life over time, since like even high school, from high school to college, I've had coaches and mentors. And, I have a mentor now who's amazing. In fact, he inspired me by this post. And he shared something about like what he's not a product of, and it really inspired me to share like things that I'm grateful for. And one of them is having a mentor and a coach to help guide me through from my business, to help with not just my business, because the trickle down effect to my family and my, being able to pay my bills and expenses and provide a roof over my family's head and that sort of thing. I'm very, very grateful that I'm not going alone, because it's way harder, and not just that, in anything, it's harder to go alone. So are you going it alone? I mean, that's a question to ask. If you're going it alone, maybe your time right now is to find a coach or a mentor. Maybe your health is down the toilet, and it was down the toilet before this all went down, and now it's like completely in the gutter. So if you're feeling that, maybe it's your time right now to get a mentor or coach, and you don't have to go it alone. So that's one of the other things. Next thing I'm grateful for, I'm really, truly grateful for things not being handed to me on, I don't know what they say. This is maybe old school, but you're old school, right? Hey, good morning. Hey, Danny, good morning. Good morning. Brian, good morning. Is one of the things that I hear often is like, and you've heard it, right? It's not being handed a silver spoon in your platter. Now, this might look, it's beautiful back here, but I'll work my butt off for it. I can tell you that. Where we're at right now, where we live, and being able to live where we live, and in the last 25 years pursuing a direction, I can tell you stuff was not handled. It's kind of interesting because I'm a guy, and I'll be completely open with you. It's a little side story. It's pretty neat. I'll share this for the summer. I grew up in Long Island, New York. I never tell people first off, because automatically there's a judgment in saying, oh, that's where you lived? So when I lived in New York City, I told people I grew up in New York, and then they say, well, where in New York? And I grew up in Long Island, and they say, where in Long Island? And I say, out east, way out east. And the reality is, and I'm not afraid, I can say it now, because you can just look at my life. It's not as glamorous, if you will, but I would say is I grew up in the Hamptons. Like, I'm sure you've heard of the Hamptons before, Southampton, East Hampton, the Hamptons, right? When I grew up, my grandfather was a potato farmer out there. We were farm people. I say we had some property out there. It was not on the area where it was like on the beach or anything like that. And but I would say is that we grew up okay, like it was fine. And comparing to looking what other people had, $30 million homes on the ocean and that sort of stuff, you would think, gosh, we were the poor folk, right? And I would say is my parents grew up, my dad was a farmer. He had to quit high school. He had to leave high school and start working on the farm, because that was just part of life, growing up. And it was awesome. And one of the things I say I'm grateful for is that my parents did not hand deliver and spoon feed and give me everything on a silver platter. And I'm very, very grateful for that. Unfortunately, I see maybe just the environment and the times, and maybe the culture we're in. I see so many families and kids, and this is not to judge, it's just that I see how hard it's going to be for those kids that are just, everything's given to them, everything's handed to them, everything's spoon fed to them, everything's like provided for. There's no discipline, there's no like work ethic, there's none of that. And again, this is not to knock it. I'm just saying that I'm very grateful to have grown up in the time with my family and my parents, who really said, you got to work for what you want in life. You got to actually take action and earn it. And I hope to instill that in my kids, even though I really, truly feel they're very, very blessed to live in the environment they have and have the provisions they have. But I try to make sure that they understand the value of that. So I don't know if that makes sense. Good morning, Renee. Good morning to you. Appreciate you. So that's one of the things, grateful for not really having everything hand and spoon fed to me. The other thing is I'm grateful for the service that I've been able to provide for people for the past 25 years. I've been in this industry working in health and fitness. On a side note, I'm the creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough. So I have a online coaching program. It's been 2.5 years strong. It's truly a unique program for specific people. I work with moms and dads, typically over 40, who are looking to not just lose weight, but learn how to keep it off. Like, here's the thing. When I ask people, are like, hey, are you trying to lose weight? Yeah, trying to that. The problem is with that, is I found so many people that are trying to lose weight, so many people that are losing weight. No, there's people that have lost weight. And I said, you don't hear about them too much. Maybe you hear before and after story. But I don't want to just help people. My pursuit, my mission is not just to help people lose the weight, is to help them keep it off, learn what they need to keep it off forever. There's nothing worse, and I don't know if you can feel me on this, is going through a program or maybe a diet or, going through a cleanse, and you lose the weight and then you put it back on, and then you lose the weight on a different plan, you put it back on, you join a different gym, the flavor of the month type of training, and then you do that for a couple months, you have success, and then the trainer changes or the gym changes hands or what have you. Next thing you know, you're like up the creek again, and back that weight comes right back on, and even more so. Does that make sense? So one of the things I'm very, very grateful for is that I've been able to provide a great service to my customers now and for the past 25 years. I stand true. I have pride in the work that I do and integrity, from being a gym owner to being a personal trainer to working in group fitness. Again, this is not a cockiness. This is a confidence in that I was raised that way. You don't give crappy service to people. And, on that note, one of the other things is I'm very grateful for people that invest in me, that invest their time, their effort, and their finances. Because here's the thing, when you don't pay for things, you don't pay attention. That's just the reality. When you actually have, gosh, I'm saying all these phrases, when you don't, it's so true. And you may have heard it and it may be like a broken record, but if you don't have skin in the game, you are not going to follow through. You are not going to succeed on this thing. I've invested in my coach. One of the things I'm very grateful for, I mentioned before, is having a coach. Well, you know what? I would not be paying the kind of attention I am to the guidance and the mentorship that he's provided for me if I'm not investing in myself. That's something that is required. You have to invest in yourself. Maybe you're investing in this to get some encouragement, and maybe it is this gratitude you need to think about, but great. But then you got to take some action. Being grateful and then taking action on that is a really, really important thing. So I'm really, really grateful for really the past year and a half. Now I'm kind of, not year and a half, past year with my mentor, but really for the past 25 years. And then, to be honest with you, my entire life, of as far as having the understanding of what it means to have integrity, to hold true to the work that you provide, to provide a lot of value to people, to help people. And my last 10 years and really understanding this relationship with God really helped solidify that. It really, truly did. My walk with God, as far as not being afraid to share my faith, it's interesting. And I have to steal this from my coach. And he said, when people say, hey, you really talk about your faith, you probably shouldn't. I don't know why you should do that. You'd probably be more successful if you didn't talk about your faith and about belief, or that J word. Gosh, can you imagine a business person talking about Jesus? Unless you're a pastor, right? You're in the business of pastoring a church, or you work for a church or something. But I can tell you that wouldn't be, like he said, I'm gonna steal this from it. That wouldn't be really too much faith, would it? If you can't share your faith, if you can't be open about the absolute most important thing in my life, honestly, next to my family, which is honestly not the number one thing, the most important thing is my faith in God, because without him, all the other things are just not nearly as possible if they weren't under an understanding and a gratitude towards this God who loves you and me, even if you don't know him right now. So that's it as far as gratitude. And then really the other thing is being grateful for every single person here. I'm going to just kind of finish with this. I'm so grateful for you. If this is the first time watching me, if you've been following me for like a month or maybe 2 months, if you've been, a lot of people come in and they get on a call with me. It's like, Mark, I've been following you for the past 6 weeks or 12 weeks, and you pretty much are saying the same message to me. I'm over 40. I need some help. I need to lose weight. But even more importantly, that I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. See, I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have people that would ask for my help, that would invest in themselves and invest in me to come alongside them. I wouldn't be able to have an online business and honestly not be in fear, because I didn't lose my job. I've been working for myself for the past 20 years, essentially. Really for the first 5 years, really professional. I worked for the hospital working in physical therapy, but then after that, it's been me the entire time. It's not something that I'm just going to start working for myself. I've been putting 2 decades of work and hard work into getting to where I'm at right now. But the only way I've been able to do that is a couple things. I have to have people that need my help. And I know there may be 1 or 2 that need some help right now. And I'm going to just say is if you're not there, that's cool. But I wanted to say to all the other people, the people that believed in me when I was just a newbie trainer and had wet behind the ears, didn't know anything about training back in the mid 90s. to people when I was in New York and I did group fitness and I was teaching, classes, spinning and boxing and kickboxing, when I was working in golf fitness and then started a whole golf fitness business. And when I started doing that and started to really understand golf as far as an industry and looking at how that and the athlete and just the people that I got to be around, some of the colleagues, the people I met, some really amazing coaches in the golf fitness world, that wasn't too long ago. And then opening a gym, and then all the people, the golfers that allowed me to come alongside them and help them improve their golf game, and then everything in between. Opening a gym in 2009, having a gym and servicing this community here with so many amazing families and parents and moms and dads, even with our young, we had a young athletes program we did as well. It was truly amazing. But again, I'm so grateful for all of those, because without that, I wouldn't be able to do this right now. I really wouldn't be able to, and not in a place at 47 that I can say that, while maybe things I'm still pursuing are still on the horizon, and I'm very, very excited for those. I'm really grateful for right now. I'm grateful for you, grateful for watching me, grateful for you. If you've been, somebody's been following me and watching me, maybe servicing and allowing me to help you in your health and fitness needs, I'm so grateful for. Truly, truly grateful for. And I'll tell you what, that fills me, is just to be able to express the gratitude for you. Again, this might be your very first time that you're listening to this, and for that I would say is I challenge you to listen to more, to watch and provide, especially if maybe you're that type of person that needs more encouragement. Maybe you're that type of person that is struggling in your health. If you are, all you have to do outside of listening to this message is to take another step, and that could be just getting on a call with me to find out what that looks like. Listen, I would not be pursuing fitness still after 25 years, would not be pursuing. I'm an online coach, so I've created what's called the Lean Body Breakthrough. And it is a conglomeration of the past 25 years of in the trenches, working with people side by side, in person, face to face, in the gyms, outside the gyms, in their homes, in my gyms, online, all those environments. And I cut through the BS. I basically provide clarity, just like my coach is providing clarity with me. I don't want you to go it alone. If you're struggling right now with your health, if you're struggling to find gratitude in anything, if you're in the bottom of the barrel when it comes to your own personal health, and that could be a trickle-down effect to the rest of your life. It may be that you need to take another step forward. That could be reaching out to me like so many other people have in the past years. I have a client I've been working with on and off for about 17 years. Can you imagine having a coach, having a mentor, having somebody by your side for the past 17 years? I think actually now we're in the 18th year. Isn't that pretty amazing? Since I actually moved here to Jacksonville, Florida. So anyway, with that, my gratitude is just thanking you, just appreciating you today. And maybe you need to spend the next 10, 20 minutes writing down people that you're grateful for, maybe your family, even if the circumstances that you're in aren't awesome. I'm sure there's one or two things, probably 100 or 200 or more things that you could be grateful for. You woke up this morning, that's the first step. You can be grateful to God that He gave you another breath and another day so that you can make the most of your life right now, today. So with that, I hope this found you well. This is the Daily Dose. We're in episode number 27. And I think that's all I have. We're going to go here 8 a.m. every single day. The only thing I ask is that you share this with a friend. So when you're done, if you like this, share this with somebody. Maybe somebody needs to hear a good message about gratitude. And I hope this all found you well. Have an amazing, blessed weekend. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Take care.